Hey everybody. So, the Philadelphia Flyers lost again last night, this time to the Colorado Avalanche, and they are not off to a good start at all. A team that I had very high expectations for coming into this year. I thought they would be one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, and it's been a very poor start for the Flyers so far. Um, so really, what is going on? Why is this team not winning games? Why does this team look so bad to start the season? Well, Philadelphia, they've started off the year 4-5-0. They have 31 goals for in 9 games, 37 goals against. Their power play is operating at 17.6% right now, and their penalty kill is under 70% with 68.8% on the PK. What? I mean, when you watch this team play, and I watched the game last night, it's pretty obvious that the issue is goals against. They are giving up way too many goals. 37 goals against in 9 games. That can't happen. That they're giving up 4 goals a game. They're giving up more than 4 goals a game. That cannot happen. You cannot win in the NHL giving up that many goals. 31 goals for, I mean, that's not bad. There are a lot of teams in the NHL who haven't scored 30 goals as a team yet. And teams that are winning games that have scored less than 30 goals as a team. Philadelphia is losing because they are not playing defense. Their goaltending has been lousy, and we'll get to that looking at Brian Elliott later. But it's not just the goaltending, it's overall team defense. The goaltenders aren't playing well, the defensemen aren't playing well, and the forwards aren't playing well defensively. That has been the problem that is absolutely killing this team. So, I mean, they've lost James Van Riemsdyk. He's their big free agent acquisition this offseason. He was going to come in and add a whole new layer of scoring for this team, and he's out with a injury for a significant amount of time. Okay, yes, that's a loss. You take JVR out of that lineup, and it's basically their lineup from last year. You take JVR out, and it's basically pretty damn close to what they had last year up front. That team went to the playoffs and looked pretty good in the Metro Division last year and ended up losing to Pittsburgh in 6 games in the first round. But that was a playoff level team last year. This is not a playoff level team. This is a team that looks like they could be in big trouble if they don't turn things around quickly here. So James Van Riemsdyk's injury is not a reason for why Philadelphia has looked this bad early. 17.6% on the power play. Not great, but not atrocious either. That's not something that's going to kill you. The 68% on the penalty kill, that will kill you. And once again, that goes along with goaltending and team defense. They are giving up too many goals. They're giving up too many goals when they're killing penalties. Obviously, you have to kill at least 80% of your power play chances against. Your penalty kill has got to operate at least 80%. If it's down in the 70s, that's when you get to be having one of the worst penalty kills in the league. And if it's under 70, you just can't take penalties. If you're going to have a penalty kill under 70%, you can't take penalties because it's going to kill you every time. Now, obviously, we're only 9 games in. These numbers are obviously affected by each individual power play and penalty kill a lot more early on in the year when there's been less of them, and I'm sure that number is obviously going to go up as the season goes on. But 68.8%, are you kidding me? I mean, that is atrocious. You look at their star players, and I have Voracek I didn't put up here, but you look at some of their star players, and they are already heavy minuses. Again, team defense. And a lot of people don't like plus minus, and I get that a lot of times if you're on a bad team, you're going to be a heavy minus no matter how good of a player you are. And there's certainly a team aspect that goes along with plus minus more than it being an individual stat. But I'm very much believe that plus minus certainly has some value to it, especially when you get towards the extremes, either extremely high or extremely low. You know, if you're a really good player, but you're like minus 30 on the season, you're probably not good defensively. I don't care what team you play on. If you're minus 25 or minus 30, you're probably not playing very well defensively. You know, if you're plus 20 on the season, you're probably, you're not on the ice for goals against. There's value to knowing that. You're not on the ice when the other team scores. That's good. So I like plus minus, especially looking at extremes of plus minus, and I think it can tell a lot about the way that a player is playing, or at least the way a team's playing, and that player is part of that team. Shane Gostisbehere has 4 points in 9 games. I know he's a defenseman, and defensemen don't exactly rack up points, but only 4 points in 9 games. He can do better than that. He's also already minus 5. Ivan Provorov, 3 points in 9 games. Again, not a lot of offense from the back end here, and he's already minus 6. Wayne Simmonds, he has 6 goals already and 7 points. He's actually off to a decent start offensively. He's minus 5 though. He's, even with all those points, he's minus 5. Claude Giroux has 11 points already, is minus 4. They are giving up goals, and they're giving up goals when their star players are on the ice. Look at the minuses. Giroux's been out there for plenty of goals for. He's been out there for even more goals against. They're not playing defense well enough. And then when you get to the goaltending, I mean, goaltending has been a problem for the Flyers for the last 25 years. But you look at it this year, and I didn't even put Calvin Pickard up here. He's been the other goaltender. He's the backup. He's been even worse than Elliott. His numbers are worse. But Brian Elliott, their starting goaltender, he's played 6 of their 9 games so far. His save percentage is only .882, and his goals against is 3.59. He's giving up over 3.5 goals a game and saving less than 90% of his shots against. That is not good enough in the NHL. That's not even good enough in the AHL. Those are terrible, terrible numbers, and you will not win games with goaltending giving up that many goals. So, again, it's not all on Brian Elliott. He certainly can play better. I thought he could have played better last night. But the team as a whole can play a lot better, and they're not playing well defensively. They're scoring goals. They're putting the puck in the net like we all knew that they could with that lineup. But they're giving up even more, and that is what's killing them. So until the Philadelphia Flyers fix their game in their own end and start to get some NHL caliber goaltending, this team is in big trouble. If they continue like this all season long, they will not go to the playoffs. Not in that division where there are so many good teams, and there are so many teams fighting for to be in the playoffs. You have Carolina emerging, off to a good start. Columbus is there every year. You've got Pittsburgh and Washington as the premier of that division. New Jersey's off to a good start. Philadelphia will not make the playoffs if they cannot keep the puck out of their own net, and that has been killing them this year. They have got to find a way to play better team defense and get better goaltending, or they are in big trouble and on pace to be one of the most disappointing teams this season. So Philly, you've got to turn it around. You've got to keep the puck out of your net, or it's going to be a long year. So that's what I've got on the Flyers. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. Check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to support Off the Wall Hockey on Patreon, that link is also down in the description. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. The more views and subscribers, the better. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys soon.